How's it going, guys? Michael Soudebov here with Condos.com, and some of my clients have been asking me to make this video, and I've been meaning to do this for a while. I'm going to give you a condo market update and a condo forecast of what I think is going to be happening in the condo market in the next little while, maybe 6 to 8 months. This is a very interesting topic. There's lots of some doom and gloom videos that I've seen. There's some positivity that I'm seeing as well, and I'm going to give you my take on what's happening. I can't talk about the condo market without giving you an overall picture of what's happening in the real estate market. So let's look at the September statistics that TREB released. In the month of September was the busiest month ever on record, with 11,000 real estate transactions recorded on the MLS system. Once again, I'll repeat that, the hottest month ever on record with over 11,000 transactions. That tells me there's a lot of activity in the market. That activity is quite obviously coming from the ground-related real estate section of the market. So we're talking detached homes, townhomes, semi-detached. They are all absolutely on fire. The average selling price of all home types right now is, believe it or not, approaching $960,000 in the GTA. Detached homes are up 15 to 20%. Imagine if you owned a detached home. Last year was worth $1 million. This year it's worth 1.15 to 1.2 million. No questions asked. You didn't even have to do any renos. You did some renos, it's worth even more. Great. Now let's have a look at some condos. Actually, I'll mention one more thing. The average sale price of a detached home in the city of Toronto is, drumroll, $1.5 million. You want to buy a detached home in Toronto? Get ready to spend a minimum of $1.5 million. So with regards to the condo activity, in the 416 and the 905, we are up 15% over last year. So in terms of transaction volume, it's up 15% year over year, same time last year. This year we've sold, there's been 15% more transactions. In other words, there is activity in the condo market. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of it. However, the reality of the situation and the elephant in the room is clearly the incredible influx of condo listings we're seeing on the MLS system. It's absolutely crazy, but we have about 6,500 condominium listings in the 416 alone. So in the city of Toronto, in the 416, we have 6,500 condo listings in 2018 and 2019. That number, which were good condo markets, that number hovered around 3,000. We're over twice the norm of condo listings in the 416. If we look at the GTA as a whole, we are approaching about 9,000 condo listings. So why is this happening? Well, I mean, to me, it's a general, it's a broad shift in consumer appetite. Clearly, individuals right now are making an emphasis on detached homes, ground-related real estate because of COVID. They are interested in more space because everybody's working from home, and nobody's commuting anymore, so distances are no longer an issue. Obviously, we have an incredible supply of condos that is right now on the market. It is no doubt putting downward pressures on the prices that we're seeing. So TREB stats aren't actually showing this yet because they haven't shown up in the market. However, there are certain websites that you can look at, for example, Condos.ca, and they are showing that past 2 weeks of October, so first 2 weeks of October, we have seen a price per square foot drop in sale prices in the city of Toronto compared to last year of 3%. So that tells me that, yes, sellers are finally conceding. They're realizing the current state of affairs in the condo market, and they are open to giving buyers a discount and negotiating the price of their condos. So yes, you're able to get a condo for less than you were last year by about 3%. And yes, there are definitely deals to be had in the condo market. So why is this happening? Where's all this inventory coming from? Well, it's quite obvious that all this inventory is coming from a number of places. One, Airbnbs, not condo investors in Airbnbs, especially not getting any business, so they're being converted to regular rentals or being put on the market. B, individuals are, well, downtown isn't as very exciting right now. Downtown sort of feels like a suburb right now. So a lot of people are actually looking at suburbs and they're saying, hey, you know, I can live here for the next little while until I'm asked to go back to work, whenever that's going to be. And condo investors. Condo investors who are not able to rent their units because, let's say, their tenant moved out, they lost their job, their tenant moved out, they're not able to rent their units, they're putting their units up for sale. So the market's being flooded with inventory. Overall, what everyone has to realize is that COVID affected people and everyone differently. But the unfortunate reality is that the low-income earners and low-income households have been hit the hardest by COVID, hands down, and you could tell this on the news. It's a fact. Therefore, the renters and the condo buyers, I would say, fall into this category. So the caliber of individual that is buying a condo is typically a first-time home buyer. If they've been hit the hardest, then obviously they're going to be questioning their plans to buy condominiums. They might be sitting on the sidelines, or they might literally be unable to do so because their income has been affected. As a result, condo market is taking a hit at this time. Now, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I think one of three things is going to happen going forward. Option number one, all of you doom and gloom people will enjoy this one. Well, condos just keep going down. They go to zero. And then you're going to be able to show up in the lobby of a building in the morning, and the concierge is going to be handing out keys. Oh, condo for you, condo for you, condo for you. Karen in the back, condo for you. I'm just kidding. That's never going to happen. But option number two is a little bit more realistic. We have to have a reasonable relationship between the sale price of a detached home and a condominium. And right now, that is completely out of whack. We are talking about the entry-level detached home in Toronto being $1.5 million and a condo being about $650,000 average price, which means that we are about 2.5 times the disparity between the price of a condo to a house. That is not healthy. We are going to see that gap narrow, and that gap can narrow one of two ways. The detached homes will come down in price. That's my option number two. Is that going to happen though? Do I truly believe that's going to happen? I don't, because homes are owned by end users, individuals who bought for their family, who need to live there, they're not speculators, they're not investors, they're end users. They're living there because they like it there, and they're living there because that's what suits best for them. And they're able to continue living in this home and avoid putting it on the market during a difficult time. So I don't see the detached home prices, despite the fact that they've skyrocketed, coming down over the next 6 to 8 months. Now, option number three, of course, is condos catching up in price and changing their trajectory. And that is exactly what I think is going to happen. Now, do I think that's going to happen tomorrow? Not necessarily. I do think that once we see a vaccine, the government relaxes the restrictions, people will start seeing some of their income come back. The overall tense environment will ease. We are going to see a hell of a lot more activity in the condo market. Think about it this way. I actually happen to own a Tesla Model 3, which is the cheapest Tesla makes. There is a Tesla Model X, which is the most expensive Tesla. We are in a scenario right now where Tesla Model X's are selling only, and nobody's buying Model 3s. Do you think that's a realistic and a sustainable scenario? No, it's not. It's only happening simply because the portion of the population that hasn't been affected by COVID is living their life as normal. They are the ones that are driving the house prices up because they are able to and are actively purchasing real estate. Individuals whose whose budgets are limited have either put their plans on hold or are taking a pause. Therefore, these Model 3s, which is essentially condos, are not currently selling as well and are seeing an influx in listings as well. My recommendation for you guys, if you are a condo buyer, if you're a first-time home buyer, you're interested in the condo market, you plan to buy, start looking right now. Start putting in offers, start doing showings, put yourself out there, because timing the market is very difficult. It's near impossible. I've tried it many times before. Unfortunately, I haven't been successful. Don't try to time the market. If you can afford to buy a condo right now, go out there and do that. Trust me, within the next year, the condo market will be in a completely different place. And we don't buy real estate to live in there for 3 to 6 months. Real estate is a long-term game.